Hi everybody and welcome back to Crafted by Corie. If you're new, I'm Corie. Welcome to my channel, and if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Today is the minis challenge. Super excited. There's going to be a whole playlist of fantastic inspiration, so I hope that you will check out the playlist when you're done watching this video. But for now, let's go ahead and get right on into the crafting.
DIY number one. So I'm starting out with some wooden beads, and I do have these in my Amazon store, which you can find a link to in my description box. But I'm getting the beads all prepped. I was just showing you my ocean chalk paint, and I am going to do these first 7 beads in ocean. You can see I've got a pattern going on down at the bottom of the screen, and so I was just trying to figure out how many beads I wanted in each color. So 7 in the dark blue, then I'm using my crystal chalk paint for another 12 beads, and then I'm going to be doing 6 more of them in my Adirondack white. So while those are all drying, I'm going to go ahead and take this little tag sign from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was so cute, but of course we're going to give it a makeover. I started trying to peel off the paper and then just sanded off the glitter instead, and now I'm just giving it a good coat on both sides of the sign with my white chalk paint. I'm not too worried about the side that had the glitter on it because we will cover that up a little bit later. So once that's dry, I'm actually taking out these 2 little snowflakes that I picked up from the Goodwill, and I'd gotten them. It was 4 in the pack, I think, for just $1. They're originally from Hobby Lobby. They were like 47 cents each, so I got them like 50% off, right? So giving these a coat of crystal. I'm really only concerned with the one side and all these little nooks and crannies because I am going to be attaching it to my little tag sign later. So now I am getting all of my little beads ready to string. These are all dry, and I'm going to string them up on my twine here, and I'm going in the pattern that I had established in my little head a little bit earlier. So before I attach the garland to my little tag sign, I want to make sure that I finish off the back of my sign. This is all dry now, so I'm tracing it. Usually I use craft paper, but I thought it would be really cute to use some scrapbook paper for this. So you can see I've got that little tiny buffalo check. So I am just using my Mod Podge, and I'm making sure that my little sign is completely covered, and then I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that that's secured on there. And then I'm going to poke out the little hole where we're going to be threading our sign again. So having our garland hang off of the little sign. I was just using my little Cricut weeding tool for that. So I'm flipping through a loop of my twine here. And I'm going to take the entire garland and just run it through that loop so that I'm attaching the garland to the little sign. There might be an easier way of doing this. I don't really know, but this is the way that I chose to do it. So, and I did it this way because I wanted to be able to thread that tail back up through all of the beads, and I just wanted it to be a nice clean look. So I'm just going to thread that on back up through, pull all those beads down, and then I'll be able to tie off the other end of my garland. So once I've got all of that set, I am actually going to go ahead and make a tassel for the end of the garland. So I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers. I wrapped it probably about 30 times. And then once that's all done, I will take a smaller piece and wrap it through the top loop and tie it off nice and tight. And then I'll take another piece and I will wrap it around what I like to call the head of the tassel, just to create that neck, so to speak. So once I get that all wrapped, I'll go ahead and tie that off and get that all pulled through and have all of my little ends ready. And then I did cut the ends. I cut all those little loops. I don't think I showed you when oh, yep, I did. So I went ahead and I cut them all off, and then I went ahead and I trimmed them over my trash can. So sorry, I'm not showing you that there. I just wanted to make sure that they were all nice and even. And so then I went ahead and I used my little Cricut tool to kind of free up a little hole there at the top because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to thread this back through here. So I had tied it so tight, and I always like my tassels to be nice and clean. So I don't like a lot of knots and extra little strands sticking out. So you can see I'm kind of creating a space with my Cricut tool here to be able to thread my twine back in through the top of the tassel, and that worked just fine. So then I went ahead and I pulled it through, pulled it tight, tied a knot there at the top, and then I went ahead and cut it off, and now I am just like on the other end, I'm threading my twine back up through. And that was when I ran out of space on my uh, camera, that thing, yeah. So I'm just showing you, I adhered my little snowflakes. I used my little glitter marker to write "Let It Snow" on them, and that was it. And I'm in love with this. I think it's so cute, but let me know what you think. So as I mentioned before, this is Minnie's Challenge Day. I'm super excited for all of the inspiration. There is a full playlist. You'll find the link in my description box. So I hope you'll check that out when you're done watching here. And if you're interested in participating, the next playlist goes live on November 19th. DIY number 2. So I have started to do some chalk couture. This is part of a kit that I got. I am a consultant, so just want to disclose that. There is some information in my description box in my link tree if you'd like to check it out. But I am starting out with a little wood square, and I am going to be using one of these transfers, this little guy with the snowman. So this is the first time I'm using these, you guys. There's another project that was actually my first, but I'm doing this one first to show you. But using my ocean chalk paint again, you saw that I had cleaned up the little wood square first, and then I'm laying down my transfer. Now you can use these over and over again. I think I was told that you can use them usually up to about 10 times. It's different from a stencil in that it's more like a silk screen. So there's a little bit of a mesh wherever you see that knockout. So where you can see that blue, it's like a mesh. So I'm coming in with what they refer to as the paste with my little squeegee, and I'm just running that right over the transfer and just making sure that it's nice and smoothed out. And then I'm going to peel that transfer right up, and you can see how cute. I love this. And y'all, if you've been following me for any bit of time, you know I love snowmen. So I'm just coming in with some chalk paint now, and I am creating some snow all around our little snowman friend, and just going to kind of make it a little bit heavier down at the ground area where he is situated, and just getting it to where it makes my heart happy. And then I decided to come in with some black chalk paint. I'm going to make our little snowman friend a hat. And you can embellish these as much or as little as you want. You don't have to, but if you choose to, this is certainly an option. So making his little hat, and then I'm going to come in with some other colors in a moment to take care of his little nose. So here I come in with some orange. I think this was my my pumpkin chalk paint. So did of his little nose for him. So he's got his little carrot nose. And then I went ahead and decided I was going to color in his scarf with my red chalk paint. I think this is called Crimson. I believe this one is Waverly. And then doing his little eyes, his buttons, these are all being done in black. And I did decide to go over the letters. Right now they're in that ocean color because it was the space that did not get covered with the white, but I decided to make it black. So there he is, so cute. Let me know what you think. DIY number 3. So this is going to be a quick and easy way to add some extra interest to your tiered trays. This is a little cutout that my sister actually had picked up for me at the Hobby Lobby. No, not Hobby Lobby, Michael's, sorry. I believe it was 99 cents and she'd gotten it on sale for 20% off, so it was like 80 cents. And it stands up on its own. I'm using my crystal chalk paint. Once it's all dry, I'm coming in with a metallic blue marker from the Dollar Tree. Now, I started using my metallic blue marker because I thought that the point on this was going to be thinner than the point on my glitter marker, which is also this shade. And this was pretty, but I was thinking, you know what? I really wanted a little bit more of a shimmer to it. So I decided to come back in with my glitter marker, and the point on it was no fatter than the other one. So it ended up, it would have been just fine on its own, but I just went ahead and traced back over it so it would have a little bit of a shimmer to it. I don't think it shows up on camera here, but I really love the way that it turned out. And now it's time for a shout out timeout. So cool, Patty. These are some awesome Halloween decorations that she's created. And pretty Lori, look at how beautiful these are. And you guys, you know I love the gnome. Neat, Valerie. Such really cute projects. And I love them, Sharon. Sharon from Mimi Makes. Yay. She and I had the same idea. And awesome, Maureen. This haunted house is perfect for Halloween. I would love to give you a shout out as well. If you have interest, please send me an email at craftedbycorie@gmail.com. DIY number 4. So this is from the Dollar Tree. It's a little sled that I picked up with some white Adirondack chalk paint. We are going to go ahead and give it a good coat. Once it is all dry, coming in with my Mod Podge, and I am going to give just at the top of this a really good coat. Now, I have to give a big shout out to my new friend Deirdre at Our Upcycled Life. I will leave a link in my description box for her channel. You want to check her out. She is awesome. She has literally changed my crafting life with this neat hack because we are going to be taking care of this Mod Podge situation. And if you've ever watched me Mod Podge something like this and struggle with getting all of the edges finished, you are going to love this. So Deirdre, thank you so much. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this. So get rid of anything flammable, you guys. Have some water nearby and light it up. Look at how it goes right to the edge of what you've Mod Podged. Gets right rid of all of that napkin. I just think this is the coolest thing, and it is so satisfying. And so for those little middle pieces, we're just going to take a little knife and pierce it, and you can come right in with your little flame and take care of those little pieces too. Isn't that the neatest thing you've ever seen? I am like blown away. Thank you so much, Deirdre. Definitely check out Our Upcycled Life and tell Deirdre that I sent you. Please say hello. So once you have it all burned away, you just take another little paintbrush, brush off all of the little singed edges, and voila. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my little pull string back to the sled. And then I have this, would you call this garland? I'm not sure what I would call this, but it's a wired garland, for lack of a better term, that I actually took off of a Valentine's Day project last Valentine's Day, and I used the base from the Dollar Tree, but I had formed it into a little bow and I twisted it in the middle a couple of times to secure it. And now I'm coming in with some greenery and some little berry picks that I had left over. It's a piece of a pick, basically. Y'all know I like to tear my picks apart, but I always keep the little pieces because you never know when you might have a mini to make that's going to use it, right? So I am just cutting out my little pieces, and then I'll go ahead with my hot glue and get them glued into place. So just layering them on here. And I do apologize if you hear snoring in the background, bless his heart. I'm recording this, it's like 10 minutes to midnight, you guys, and he's such a sweetheart. He's here on the couch and he's kind of out cold because he had a really long day, but he's keeping me company. So I apologize if you can hear him sleeping next to me. That is what that noise is. But at any rate, I've got my little silver fun ribbon here from the Dollar Tree that I'm adding on top. I had just done a little tie your shoelace bow and I decided it was too perfect. So I'm coming in with some of my antique wax. Had I to do over again, that did not sound right, but as I mentioned, it's like almost midnight, so please forgive me. But if I had it to do over again, that's what I meant. I probably would have done the antique wax before I did the Mod Podge. It just would have been a little bit easier before I put all the embellishments on, but it worked out. Let me know what you think. DIY number 5. So I mentioned that we were going to be doing another chalk couture project. Now I think this is really cool because with their signs, you can actually wash them off later and put something else on them. So the signs are reusable, the transfers are reusable, so it's really cool. So that was a fuzzing cloth. It was meant to try to reduce the tackiness a little bit so that it's easier to get it off of whatever you're using it on when you're done with your transfer, if that makes sense. So I'm coming in with my white paste. I'm just being very careful, and then I'm using this other tool that they sent me and using some of my green. I've got all of these cute little packets of different colors of paste that I'm trying out, and a little bit goes a long way. So I don't know if you can see, I'm just squeezing a little tiny bit of it out on my little squeegee tool, and then I'm applying it to my design. I was probably a little bit too sparing because you're going to see in a little bit that there were a couple of places where could have been a little bit heavier with the paste. But again, this was the very first time that I tried to do this ever. So again, super easy. If I was this successful with it, I'm not saying it was perfect because like I said, I probably could have done it a little bit better. But if I was this successful with it the very first time, you know, you guys could do this too. And as I mentioned, I'll have a link in my link tree in the description box if you want to take a closer look. But coming in, I had done the bird and blue, as you can see. I had some red for the little berries and for his little beak. And now this is a silver shimmer, I believe they call it, for the snowflakes. And then I'm just going to peel that right up. Maybe we're peeling. Here we go for the reveal. And look how pretty. I love it. Let me know what you think.
Okay, everybody, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the project. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment. It really does help my channel to grow. And just a reminder, there's a whole playlist. I've got it linked down in the description box. Please go ahead and check it out because there's so much more inspiration from everybody who is participating today. All right, until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye.